Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, good morning, all of that good stuff. Yesterday was rough. I had a lot of phone calls, which were highly appreciated. There was a huge fire here in New York City. It was very unfortunate. My heart goes out to the family members of everyone that was lost yesterday in this fire. I have been super mindful of reality, and it's not an easy thing to do here in America. Here in America, the narrative is you have a right to do whatever you want, whether it's right or wrong. This is the way everything looks to me. You just do whatever you want, mindful or not, here. And I won't lie, in my younger days, I was super unmindful, super naive. But now, as a parent and as an adult, being mindful is literally a huge deal for me. I have a special needs daughter, so I have to play out scenarios that could happen, maybe won't happen, but could happen. I have to have a plan to know what would I do if A, B, C, or D transpires. I just really want to give thanks for today. A lot of people did not wake up to see this day. Every morning I wake up, I am grateful for my life and my health and my strength and all of my family and friends everywhere. First thought when I opened my eyes, it was so hard for me to get to sleep. So I have a fear of fires. I have a fear of being asleep in fires around me, and waking up like that it has to be hard. I've never experienced that personally, but about a couple of weeks ago, my neighbor had a little fire in her apartment, and it made me mindful that I need to be thinking about what if. What would I do if such and such happened? What would I do if this apartment outside my door was on fire? What would I do? Because one wrong move, and it could cost you your life. And I'm mindful of that. So as my days come and go, I try my best to make plans for surprises, unfortunate events. They happen. There's no way around things happening to you. I've learned that growing up here. Things can happen at the drop of a dime, even with school. I'm watching the news and I'm seeing where all of these children are being displaced due to a public issue. And it's odd to me that, the mindfulness of what you want and what is actually real It's very important right now. It's very important right now. Every decision you make has a reaction. And I weighed the cost of sending my daughter to public school as opposed to homeschooling her. And I came to the conclusion that it would be safer for her to be homeschooled. Yes, it's going to be harder on me. Yes, there are going to be things that I'm not going to be able to do. Yes. But I'm mindful of the fact that I have to make choices that are going to be helpful and not harmful. And I'm just really grateful that I have the mentality to be a heat seeker for mindfulness. Because it could be a situation where I can be mindful enough to say, I need to leave this situation alone. Or it could be a situation where I need to go all in, handle it a particular way to get the outcome that I want. Either or, you can't be mindless right now. I'm trying to start a business plan. I want my daughter to be able to earn a living without sacrificing herself, which I see has become a root of our issues here. Earning a living is one thing, raising your family correctly and mindfully is another. It's a totally separate situation, and they bump heads. And I learned that when my daughter got sick and she needed a caregiver 24/7. I realized I have to be mindful of my reality. I have to take steps, even if it's moving from one state to another. I have to prepare for my daughter's future, not my future. I have to prepare a place, a space for her future to flourish. And that's not really, I'm not going to say it's not heard of, but a lot of people don't have room to be mindful because, hey, I've got to go to work. I have to pay these bills. My child needs to go to school because I need to do A, B, C, and D. We need this pandemic to be over because I need to do A, B, C, and D. Well, needs and wants are personal. The public health here has an issue on a few levels. And it's to be expected. Look what's happened here for the past 400 years. Grand Rising. Grand Rising. It is Monday. It is Mindful Monday, okay? January the 10th. We're on the 10th day of January already, 2022. I watched everyone celebrate Christmas and New Year's and just start this New Year process over as we've done the same way over and over. And it's so strange to me that as a community we just like we don't do more. Like I want to be part of more. I want to be part of things that are mindful and that build and can create. It's a part of my sign. Everyone knows I'm Aquarius. If you don't know, you just found out. I'm an Aquarius. I love to create. I love to think. I love to study. I'm just really in this moment humble. I'm so humbled. I want to give thanks and put it out in the universe. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for everything that I own, everything that I have. I'm grateful for the space to have more, the mindfulness to want more. I'm grateful for my will. I'm grateful for my mindfulness. It's just some days you have to stop in the midst of it all and just give thanks. I could be suffering today. I could have been dead today. I could have been in that location with that fire. We all could have been. It could have been us. My mindfulness is on like 1,000 right now. It's like I'm almost an empath. I'm almost an empath. It's like I can feel everything. It was so hard for me to get to sleep last night. All I could think about was this people in this fire and this stairwell, hearing the mayor talk about the stairwell and every floor that they got to, there was a body, and it just ran through my bones because I just did a fire seminar webinars. Listen, reach out in your communities. I don't know if 311 works in every state. Call the information, find out fire webinars, fire safety. Um, there are resources out there that can help you stay mindful and stay on course. A lot of people know when they have issues, they can call me because I'm going to figure out what you need to do, who you need to contact, and I'm going to give you that information. That is something that I've always been good at. That's something that I use daily in my own life to solve problems. Excuse me. A problem is nothing but something that needs attention. That's all it is. And they come up daily. They come up daily. Welcome to Mindful Mondays. I am trying to put myself into the schedule that I'm building. This year is going to be a big year for me. I'm in the process of writing my second book. Hopefully, it will be my biggest. I'm setting a lot of goals. I'm trying to start 2, 3, 4 businesses. I'm working on a business plan. Well, the beginning phases of a business plan. I want my daughter to be able to just live and be mindful that there are 1,000 ways to make it. And it doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing. I didn't have the luxury of raising my daughter for 16 years as an average American parent. I had the luxury of being the most hated divorced mother in the world. So, I did it alone with the help of angels along the way, living, breathing angels. That's my neighbor. Mindful Mondays. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have a new day. And I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share that because a lot of times we only talk about our problems. We only talk about, the bad stuff. And some days you have to balance it. And I'm really big on self-care. Anyone that knows me knows that. If you knew me before I started my self-care journey in New York, you don't know me anymore. I am growing. It's uncomfortable, but I am growing. And I'm mindful of that. And I think being aware that growth is not always pretty, it's not even always welcomed from people outside of you. Everyone doesn't want to see you grow. Everyone doesn't want you to be mindful, maybe because they're not mindful. But being mindful is important. Being aware is important. And I don't mean being aware by just watching the news. I mean being aware in your own knowing. You know because you've experienced ABC. So you're in a knowing, not believing, but knowing. I'm really excited about my book. Really excited. Really excited. I'm super grateful for my niece. She knows who she is because I think I have a few. I'm really thankful for her because every time we talk, your words resonate with me until we talk again. And it's an amazing feeling because for some reason I feel so connected to these people. And it's strange to me because I've never experienced this before. But then again, I have because I kind of felt this when I met my mother's family and my cousins and my grandma's sister. Like she called me 5 o'clock this morning. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, but I'm asleep. Let me call you back." Then when I hung the phone up and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, my grandmother's sister just called, worried about me. I couldn't even go back to sleep. I called her back. We talked for about an hour. When my adopted family, my immediate family died, I thought family was over. I thought my chance for being loved and accepted by my family was over. I'm like, well, they're all gone. And then I'm gifted a whole new family. It is a true gift. And there's negative things and negative parts of my existence that I could bring up and my conception and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's not even blah, blah, blah. I'm really playing that down because that does bother me. But at the end of the day, I'm mindful that no matter what the actual circumstances are, I found my family. That is some major stuff, especially when everything was hidden intentionally. I'm conscious. I'm aware of as much as I can be. And I don't know everything. Please understand me. I don't know everything at all. But every day I'm learning something. Every day I'm mindful that I don't know everything. And there are some things that I need to know to make good decisions. This is what helped me decide to homeschool. If I don't have a guarantee that you're adequate, that means you have a possibility of being inadequate. That's math. I love my sign. I think if I would have had any other mentality, I would have never made it this far. I actually was thanked for my decision to homeschool. My daughter actually thanked me. I knew it was bothering her in the beginning because she's conditioned to socializing. It has nothing to do with education. It's all about socializing. I knew she was addicted, not addicted to that, but I know she was trained in that way because she's in high school now. But I also knew that once she actually was mindful, as in conscious of all of the reasons why I chose to homeschool, I knew that she would be rational about it. There's no way you're going to go to public school this year and not have disruptions. No one can promise you that. So that is not something you should base you got to be mindful. You have to be mindful of reality. Don't make stuff up. Don't say, well, I want to do this, so everything else just has to be the right way. It has to go right because I want to do this. It doesn't work like that. Mindful people adjust accordingly. If my daughter was in public school, how many times would she have been quarantined by now? Or in the hospital, the genus diabetes mellitus, the worst kind. It's just like I don't like making decisions unless I have all the information so I can be aware of everything so I can make a good decision. This is why I battle with my testimony, because my testimony is mine, but it didn't have to be that way and I knew the truth. So no one can tell me that I wouldn't have had a different life. That's math. I was like an algebra equation with an X and a Y in it, and we figured out what the Y was, but we never figured out what X was until a couple of months ago. So yes, my life was an example of me growing mindless, not mindful. There were parts missing. So I reacted to all that I had, which was falseness. It was falsehood. If there's any part missing of a story, it makes the whole story not true. If context is missing, it makes the story not true. Welcome to Mindful Mondays. You are chilling with Chele from the block. Peace and love to you, Grand Rising. I hope your family is safe. I hope your situation is running smoothly this week. Please be mindful that the weather is crazy. If you're in cold temperatures, please use space heaters safely. Please. That fire yesterday in the Bronx it really changed me, and it made me more mindful. Sometimes I notice I get comfortable. Yesterday, I'm back in my mindful phase again. I gotta be mindful. Some people may call it paranoid, honey. I call it mindful. I'll keep my paranoia. Y'all can get rid of yours. I'm gonna keep my paranoia because I feel like it helps. Keeps me on my toes. Ensures that I don't miss a beat. Ensures that I don't miss a beat. If no one told you today, I love you. I even taught my daughter, what do you say? I love me, mom. She'll say it real quick. I love me, mom. I love me. Yes, let me hear you say it. And say it like you mean it. I know you love me. She'll say, I love you, mom. I say, I know that. Do you love you? I love me, mom. I never had anyone speak life to me like that. Only time I was spoken life to was when after I was in trouble. I already got in trouble. And it was always my aunt Magdalene Cole, my mom, Catherine's sister. She always used to say, you're gonna be so big one day, you can sing, you're so talented, do you know how special you are? And I just was looking at her like, what are you talking about, lady? No, I'm not. She was right. I don't even think she knew the facts, but she was right. I'm mindful that my life has a purpose, and I just had to rise up to that purpose. And that is what I am literally doing, second by second, understanding where I came from, understanding the strife that my families had to endure just to be on this land. It's bittersweet, but I'm mindful of that. So it makes me walk different. It makes me talk different. It makes me comprehend different. I'm grateful for my strength. I cannot stress that enough. Because you have to be strong to come out of mindlessness for 4 decades. From mindlessness to mindfulness. Okay. It a lot of people don't make that, don't get that. A lot of people don't get that. They don't get that far. There is so much that I want to get accomplished before my time is up here. And I won't lie, I got a nice little resume so far. I have done a lot, and I look back, and I can smile and say, well, I might didn't have it all together. I might didn't know what I needed to know when I needed to know it. All these years. But I'm mindful that it never broke me completely. It never swayed my will. Nothing ever made me want to just give up and stop. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been some days where it's been hard emotionally, but actually, my actual actions, I would never give up. This coffee is so good. Again, it's Monday, January the 10th. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I plan to do at least 30 minutes every morning before I start my day and podcast and share and just express whatever it is. Today, this morning, I woke up amazing. No lie, I wake up every morning amazing, but some days the some days stuff just starts real early. Today, um, it's been a calm day. My phone has rang a lot. A lot of people from Philadelphia called to check in to make sure that me and Gina was okay, and I just ate that up. I appreciate that. We are okay. We are okay. We have taken the fire safety seminar. I was mindful enough. There was another fire a couple of weeks ago, and I got right online and I went to the fire department and I noticed they had webinars. I was mindful enough to sign me and my daughter up. I chatted. We were on a Zoom call. I chatted with the fire department. I guess I don't know what you call the head people with the white shirts. I want to say manager, but I know that's not right. The head fire, the sergeant or whatever. I talked with him, asked him questions. They went over different scenarios. They went over the stairwell in a fire. You know, it's dangerous to go in the stairwell in a fire. There are no windows. It's literally, it's going to cook you. And we went over keeping a bag, keeping like important papers, certain things. In a fire, you're going to lose stuff. You don't want to be running around looking for this and looking for that. And because Gina has insulin and her Dexcom and she has all these things, we need juice in case I got to go out. I've got all this insulin in the refrigerator. What would I do with that? This is why I have renter's insurance because our medicines is in the thousands. So if anything ever happened to my home and the medicine's inside of it, she's going to be out of medicine. She needs it to live. So I have to be mindful of everything. I can't even just say all of everything because I can say what's going on now. So it could be something new tomorrow. I have to be mindful of everything. And I want to show my daughter to be the same way. Because life is precious. Life is precious. One decision can turn your life upside down. I feel so sorry for all of those families in that building. Philadelphia, there was a fire, all of those children, those babies. It's heartbreaking. And again, my heart goes out to all of the family and friends, to all of these people that lost their lives tragically. And I'm mindful of that and that feeling that comes along with it. It's a very sad feeling. So I plan today to want to do some writing. I want to do some organizing. I've got a new app I'm going to try to use to organize this book because I kind of want to do it. I want to go in a little harder than I did with my first book. No One to Tell. It's on Amazon and Kindle. It's actually an ebook. This book I actually want to print. Again, it's Monday, Mindful Monday, January the 10th. It's about 8:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say I want you to be safe. Have a wonderful day. Have a great start to your new week. Be safe and be mindful every day, all day. Because this world is a little bit upside down. You have to teach your teenagers and your children to be mindful that this place is not what we think it is. It's not a utopia. It's dangerous. Right up the street, a girl was working in Burger King, and a robber came in after midnight and killed her. Someone wanted the money out of Burger King, and that girl is dead because she filled out an application because she wanted to earn a living. Probably like her first job. She's a teenager. We have to be mindful that we are in a pandemic. Be careful. Analyze every decision before you make it. Think of every outcome that could happen. Choose your decisions wisely. That is the spirit I have today. I have the spirit of mindfulness today. And you can't be mindful unless you're dealing with reality, keeping it real. And I love that. I love to keep it real because I like reality. I need reality. New York City schools operations crumble. Yeah, yeah, I was mindful of that before they started. I was mindful of the fact that they wanted to get all of the children back into the classroom. So if you're focusing on returning kids back to the classroom in a pandemic, you're not focusing on the flip coin of that. And I'm going to leave that alone because it's not even my problem. My daughter is getting an education from the safety of my home. And she will continue to do that until this place can get a better grade. Mindful Mondays, peace and love. Thanks for joining me. Till next time, Type 1 Mom signing out.